episode 76, I believe. I believe we're 76. Oh, baby. Welcome. All right. I don't know what you guys, I hope you're all doing well, by the way, patrons. Thank you guys so much for supporting us. I got some fun stuff to talk about today.
Oh, wow.
I know, it's always fun and lighthearted and not dark at all.
Mine is
for this week.
Very dark.
Like Dark Side of the Moon dark?
No, just like usually I come with like some positivity, but today I went the exact opposite.
Well, then let's quickly talk about something that's already kind of old news-ish by now. The Moon Cube. Have you boys seen the Moon Cube?
Yes. I didn't get the follow-up on the Moon Cube, but is there a follow-up?
The follow-up will be in 2 to 3 lunar days, aka 2 to 3 months, when the rover gets closer. But the rover is going that way now to see like what this thing is.
I can't wait.
I was looking at the picture. If you guys go look at the Moon Cube picture, listeners, it's interesting because
they found a cube on the moon. It's on the horizon. That's what we know so far.
And the picture shows that in the center, like if you look at the center of the cube, there's a shadow, which indicates that it's clearly not a perfect cube, whatever it is.
It looks like an arch of some kind. Yeah.
Yeah. There's something that's like light is being casted and causing a shadow in the middle, which means it's just not a cube, but the pixels certainly make it look like a cube from a distance. I don't know what it is, but I'm excited to see what it is. I don't know. What do you think it is? You think it's just like an asteroid pushed up some rock and just looks like maybe it's just a cube from a distance, but it's just a boulder?
What do I actually think it is?
Give me your educated, obviously scientific sourced opinions on what you think this is.
It's a rock.
Just a rock?
Yeah. No matter what they say, the conspiracy already exists. Where it's like, oh, that's what they're going to tell us when they discover that it's actually a giant pylon of some sort.
See, this all segues into my actual story. There is a crashed disc on Mars, everybody. I'm going to send this to you right now.
Oh.
And I don't want you to, this is not coming from a reputable news source. This is an anomaly hunter who was scouring through NASA images, discovered something on Mars that initially looked like a crater or like a asteroid impact, but they've discovered instead that it's perhaps a disc. I'm sending you the video.
It's right perhaps now. A disc?
Well, because, there's your video. I sent it in Zoom.
Oh, okay. Send it to Zoom.
Send it to Zoom. There you go. You can see the wakes it left as it crashed into Mars.
Okay.
And there's the disc right at the back, right there.
Yeah. You know what? It looks like what a snake would look like. Like if it left a little trail.
Yeah, like a little slithery spot. Yeah. So just so you know, in the photo, a curious object with a distinctly round edge can be seen seemingly half buried in the Martian dirt with a long streak behind it, indicating the anomaly looks to be around 40 to 50 feet in diameter. Ward theorized that the oddity could be some kind of disc-shaped ship that hit the surface of Mars at a very low angle. Alternatively, he also posited that the strange streak behind the peculiar shape might be indicative of a ramp leading into an underground entrance. Ooh, maybe this is an underground entrance.
That's a bit ambitious, I would say.
Maybe
Zach
a little ambitious
territory, being like, I think I know what it is.
To be clear, this picture is 15 years old. It was taken in 05 or 06 or made public on the NASA's website around that time. So this is a picture that you can go check out that NASA's put out there. But I don't know. It's interesting shape. I'm not convinced that it's a disc, but it's an interesting shape for what might be a comet that collided with Earth with Mars. I don't know. What do you think? Is it aliens, Jesse?
I'm going to say no, but it would be cool if it was something like, look, one of the, you know what? I don't know if it's worthy of a full episode. Man, you know what?
Where's your head at? What's going on? What are you talking about?
Yeah, this is jumpy thoughts.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm excited about this.
Like, there's a crazy concept, and I think we might have even talked about this in the past. But the idea that, people keep wondering, why is there nothing out there? Like, why have we not seen life? Mm-hmm. And the idea that maybe it simply doesn't exist because, like, civilizations get to a certain point and then kill themselves every time. And there will be no like spacefaring peoples because no matter what, you always fail.
Are you talking about the Great Filter theory? Is that whatever it's called?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. You know what? Fascinating stuff. And again, I'm totally open to the idea. I actually think it's like way more trippy if it's like it is a base on Mars.
base, yeah.
That's been like empty for 8 billion years. Like that kind of thing.
No, that would be so
that'd
cool.
be great.
That's how
like
Mass
Ray
Effect starts,
Bradbury
though.
shit.
That's how,
Yes.
yeah.
That'd be insane.
And then Commander Shepard gets born.
I would love that. Yeah.
Well, that's my stories. More semi-nonsense aliens / some interesting space cubes. But Alex, since Jesse's going to be super dark, why don't you take it next?
Okay. So this is a story that I was really interested in, and then I got back to a normal level of interest in it by the end of the story. So this was the thing that was going around on TikTok. There was this guy from Sweden who said that he actually has visual proof that he met himself in the future.
What?
So he's
okay.
So he says he's a time traveler. He says he was fixing his sink or something. And suddenly he crawls in and it's way deeper under there than it was. And it goes deeper and deeper down. And then finally on the other side of that, he sees an older version of himself, because it's 40 years in the future. He says, luckily,
the Lion,
because
the Witch, and the Plumber, dude.
yeah, luckily because I thought no one's going to believe this.
I know this story. This story's pretty old, but I don't remember following up on it. I do remember seeing the picture, though.
Well, this story, at least as far as I can see it, is from December 15th. It is a TikTok. So I don't know how old it is, but it's a TikTok. And they both figure out they both have the same tattoo. I'm going to show you the video, first of all, and you can see. I think
this man, if this is the same thing, this is actually the OG story is from 2012. Let's see.
Yeah, just a little 30-second video. He said, "Luckily, I brought my."
What?
He says, "Luckily, I brought my phone with me." He meets this guy, hanging out with each other. They look like the same guy. They have the same arm tattoo. And that's it. And so obviously everybody was like, oh shit, this is dope. This is amazing. This is incredible. And it seems like this really hopeful story about hey, we're still going to be here in the, in the future.
Did this man die?
No. Turns out, it was made in 2006. And it's a marketing campaign about pension plans from a French insurance company called AMF. So this this actually isn't a real thing at all. It's a thing that was going around on TikTok, and it was just an old commercial of a guy visiting himself in the future to see that his pension plan is actually
coming across this theory in 2012 and be like, that's so weird, interesting, and never finding out anything more about it. Wow. Crazy. Now TikTok gives it another life.
There's tons of these. I feel like it might be time to do a follow-up time traveler episode, because I wish there were a million stories like John Teeter, but there really aren't a million stories like John Teeter. Most time travel stories are like, oh wow, this is cool. Oh nope, this is nothing.
Time travel, I would do another one. I would love it, because time travel fascinates me, because if we were to take time travel seriously and be like, okay, we want to do this, you'd have to have fourth dimensional coordinates, because the Earth is moving through space at an exponential speed. So where we are now is not where we were in space, however far in the back you go. And unless you can somehow pinpoint that, how does time travel fucking even work? It's the unfortunate reality of the physics of the situation, but I don't know. It doesn't, it's weird. I love time travel as a concept so much.
100%. I'm right there with you. And yeah, I was thinking about this because I think the compilation that we put out last week has the story of the guy on TikTok from last time that I talked about, who's
okay.
He's oh, I'm in the future and no one is around. You know that one?
Yeah, which reminded me, I saw one of those TikToks again from a really big account, and there was a glitch, and I saw it, and I went to the comments, and everybody saw it. One of the buildings literally glitched, it kind of faded in, and then he turned the camera, and when he turned it back, it popped in a little too late, indicating that the whole thing might actually simply be a
really good
a
CG
3D reconstruction, because graphics have just gotten so good. As long as you're not putting people in there,
dude,
it's really easy to fool people.
Did you see the Matrix thing? Have you done that yet?
Yeah, I played the Matrix thing, which is
neat as hell.
It's super neat. The systems running are neat.
Away. That thing, I mean, look, the graphics are one thing. It's amazing to see good graphics, but the level of simulation and control over architecture, randomized architecture, and they were simulating like 40,000 cars in a city and all this shit.
Yeah.
It's insanity.
And it was running pretty good. Like it was really running well on the systems.
I did it on PS5. Looked great.
Yeah, it did. It really did. It was nuts. Well, Jesse, darken the mood.
Gentlemen, fans at home.
Yes.
Delightful patrons. I figured I would wrap us up today with some of there was over the weekend, there was a Reddit post that I loved. And it was one of those things where it's like, I don't know why I decided to read this, but now you have to suffer with me. It was, what is a scary science fact that the public knows nothing about?
Oh boy. Was this one of those like, what is a scary silent fact that the public knows nothing about?
No, it's just people responding to it with things that they thought were awesome. And I chose some of my favorites because they're just insane and super fun. But the first one is, we get more galactic as we go out, but the first one's very down to earth. And I thought this was like something I've never thought about. And now I will never not think about it. When doing an autopsy, they don't put the organs back where they belong. They store them in the belly in a bag like giblets.
Honestly, makes sense. Why would you put it back?
I
agree.
Them all in a bag and put them right back inside and sew you up.
Yeah, I hate it, but I get it.
Yeah,
yeah, exactly.
That's number one. Let's keep going. Let's keep going.
God.
All right. Well, here's another. The United States has lost and never recovered at least 6 nuclear devices.
God, I knew that one actually, but thanks for reminding me because that's something I had forgotten I knew, and now I don't.
Of course, because Reddit is Reddit, a lot of people were like, you know what? Totally true. But Russia and China have certainly lost many as well. And the good news, according to one user, is like, look, it actually takes a lot of precision engineering to even detonate it. And if they're lying around in the elements, it might be likely that they'll never be detonatable.
That's comforting then.
Yeah, it does leave the possibility that someone will find them and maybe use it as a dirty bomb. But for like an actual city devastating bomb, it probably will not happen.
But what about like bullshit leaking into the fucking...
Oh, that's a totally different thing. Oh, that's a totally different thing. Yeah. So, all right, let's continue on. Now let's get a little bit more out there into space. There's 2 more. This one's great. Ton 618 is a black hole about 18 billion light years away, but we can still detect the light getting like sucked up into it. Mm-hmm. It's so large that they had to make a new category of black hole called ultramassive black holes. It's believed to be the largest thing in the universe. Its diameter is 40 times that of Neptune's orbit.
So that song is totally lame now.
Yeah, supermassive black hole. Yeah. So it could fit our entire solar system 40 times across, side to side. If the black hole replaced our sun, it would literally delete us. If it replaced the black hole currently at the center of the Milky Way galaxy, in 120 years, the Milky Way would be deleted.
Delete us. I hate
the black hole.
That's wild.
Doesn't swallow planets. It swallows galaxies. That's how big it is.
Black holes are one of those things that I fucking love reading about, but the more I think about it, the more like it's just makes me question so many things.
It's almost Cthulhu. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's because one of those things where like Einstein obviously predicted it, but they had never detected it. And he was kind of like, he wasn't even sure they existed. And then we detected them and we found them and they exist, which proved Einstein right again. It's crazy.
The last one is by far my favorite because it's well, what you gonna do?
No.
The Higgs field, which is sort of the Higgs boson and all that stuff. Essentially, imagine it's the thing that kind of like holds all of mass together. So basically, like if it didn't exist, theoretically, if it didn't exist, there would be no mass. Like we just all be particles like zipping about at the speed of light. But with it, it's how the universe is the universe, right? Well, yeah. The idea behind it is kind of like, it's really a false vacuum, and at any single moment could just poof and be gone. And so really, at any single moment, we could all poof and be gone. And my favorite part of this is everyone was like, oh, well, you know what? At least it's instant oblivion, so it's not that bad. And then this person responded, because I love Reddit. This person responded, well, yes, the true vacuum, if it burst, would slowly destroy us at the speed of light, right? As fast as you can possibly go, it would destroy everything. However, because the universe is so vast and the speed of light does take time, that sure, certainly if we were right next to the initial pop, we would disappear instantly. We would cease to be. But if we were way far away, it could take thousands, millions, a billion years to reach us. It already could have happened and we just wouldn't know. And I was like, yeah.
Wow.
So have a good sleep. Thanks for listening.
Life is fleeting and meaningless. We are nothing but stardust in the galaxy.
Oh, we wouldn't be stardust. No. There would be no stardust.
That's true.
No,
everything would
What's
cease
the
to
weird
be.
space fact?
It would be
95% of all matter in space is dark matter, and we can't see a single ounce of it.
I love it. It is so, again, all it does is reinforce the fact that, hey, celebrate what you got. Celebrate your friends and your family and every single day, because poof, tomorrow we can cease to be. Just put it out there. Have a good time. Cherish your life.
Science fact, 1 in 5 of your friends is actually just a bag full of bugs.
And don't forget, don't call out of work tomorrow. They need you.
No, F that. No, F that. You call out if you want to call out. They need you. Remember that. They need you. F that.
Listen, if I ever die, every listener has every excuse to use me as to get a free day off of work.
Oh, hell. For me, take a few weeks.
You're right.
Take as much time as you need.
All right, we're out of here. Thank you guys so much for listening. We'll be back with some more Minisode nonsense next week. Until then, goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you to Talkspace for sponsoring this episode. And funny that this is a day I record my ads for this place after having therapy only a couple hours ago. Feels serendipitous. And it's important to prioritize your mental health and everyday wellness as well. Because when you work on yourself, you get to start to see and feel all those positive changes in all areas of your life. The long-term effects of therapy can give you the tools to deal with challenges as they arise, strengthen your relationships with others, and give a more optimistic outlook on your life. There's no better time to invest in yourself than right now. You know that saying, best time to plant a tree was yesterday, second best time is right now. It's the same idea with therapy. And I understand getting started can be the most difficult but important step. It's hard to admit to yourself, sometimes everybody just needs a little help. But if you're willing to go to the doctor to take care of your body or your eyes or your teeth at a dentist, then you should be willing to take care of your brain, the thing where you actually are living in a weird way. It's healthy. Getting started is the most important part, and there's no need to wait until something goes wrong in your life to work with a therapist. Of course, Talkspace is there to help with any specific challenges that might be facing you, and it's the #1 online therapy platform with thousands of licensed therapists trained in over 40 specialties, including anxiety, depression, relationships, and so much more. Your therapist can help you set and achieve your goals. And every time I'll remind you how secure Talkspace is. Talkspace is secure and private, using the latest end-to-end bank-grade encryption technology to store client information, and of course complying with the latest HIPAA regulations. As a listener of this podcast, you'll get $100 off your first month with Talkspace. To match with your licensed therapist today, go to Talkspace.com. Make sure to use code CHILL to get $100 off of your first month and show your support for the show. That's chill at Talkspace.com. Hello, my little Chilluminati.
Ooh. Hi.
Giggling Granny Nanny Doss. It's just in my head, dude.
Not
Seriously, that one
not
line.
a fan of either of those. I don't like
I need one of those mouth harps that's like.
Should I do the knee slap like?
Yeah. You need 2 spoons.
I feel like that's the song that would play. Maybe I'm wrong. You're more movie people than I am, but that's the song that would play over all of Granny's murders if Quentin Tarantino was directing a biography about her.
Yeah, it would be an insane movie. I would be like, him? What?
I don't know. This image of her like poisoning her victims to like smiling and
I didn't imagine her
in
barefoot the entire film, but here we are.
We don't worry about that. Welcome everybody. Welcome to Minisode 76, 24 away from 100 and 100 and almost 200 away from the next sexy number. Woo! My cats are yelling. Hang on a second. You take it away from here. I'll be right back.
All right. So here's what's up. I've got an article that I'm going to tell you guys about that. There was a lot of great news this week. But the biggest one for me, and I like to, if you will, I like to sniff out the weird ones. And this one comes from Mysterious Universe contributor Paul Seaburn, who is my favorite contributor to Mysterious Universe, which is it's a motley bunch over there that do the news on this website. Very, very fantastic stuff. Basically,
this stall is so long. Yes.
No, basically, seriously, it's so weird. Basically, there are two ladies that have been discovered in Vietnam, and they say that they don't bathe because they don't have to bathe because they have like a mutant style superpower, which is that their bodies smell like perfume.
No, don't believe it. Refuse to believe it.
This reminds me, I don't call him a friend, but an acquaintance I knew in the friend circle that I was a part of, the same circle I played Dungeons and Dragons and all that nerdy shit. And this guy would never, ever wear deodorant and told us he showered very rarely. And the reason he said that that's the case is because he said his BO smelled like pencil shavings.
Nope.
So he just never bothered. And I was like, that's gross.
That is one of those like nose blind things that I'm convinced these two women probably smell like jank sauce.
The most strange part about what you said is that like I'm supposed to go with the information. Oh, pencil shavings? Never mind. Stay dirty, my friend. What a great smell. What a great smell pencil shavings is. That just makes my fucking libido just
never shower
crazy.
Again, sir. I love the smell.
Pencil shavings.
I'll never forget that. It was wild.
The quote is, during the day, if you want to smell the scent, you have to rub your body with your hands. But at night, people around me can still smell the smell coming from my body, even if I'm sitting a few meters away. These are the words of somebody whose name I'm going to butcher, Dang Thi Toi, who is a seamstress from the province of Sok Trang, who undoubtedly gets invited to a lot of parties where she has to put up with men wanting to smell her. That's the quote from the article. This is from a YouTube channel called Extraordinary Bin Duong. And it's been making the rounds. It's a very insane story. They say that she noticed that she had a pleasant smell after working hard all day. And then instead of taking a shower, she was rubbing her hands and she was like, the fuck is this smell? What am I smelling? And she won't say whether she's been to a doctor about it. But she
what?
She said I don't know.
Okay, no, I believe you. I just like it's one of those things where like if you're just simply saying I'm not telling you, it just means no, you haven't gone. Why would you hide that piece of information?
Right. Well, she says she hasn't been to the doctor, but that she's been examining herself. And that certain parts of her body are more smelly than other parts. Or so she uses the word fragrant. It smells stronger at night, weaker during a menstrual cycle, and most powerful of all during a full moon. So that's something you can think about. They get into the fact that like certain foods,
her smell rises with the tides.
Well, certain foods, like, if you think about what sweat is, which is like the most likely culprit for this, right? Sweat is like mostly water, but also like ammonia, salt, sugar, like just things that come out of your body that come from what you put into your body, right? So eating things like garlic, right? Or carbs, or certain vegetables make you kind of smell like shit, right? We all know this. Like if you eat a lot of garlic, you start to smell like garlic. But like eating,
maybe he was eating pencil shavings.
But apparently eating meat and eggs and tofu make your sweat smell kind of sweet. And things like fenugreek make your sweat smell like maple syrup. But yeah, so basically,
but how much would you have to eat though?
Right.
Dude, I don't know. But after the story of Dang T Toy went out on this channel, that's when the other woman contacted the YouTuber, and she's from the Kengang province. And she says that she also has this thing where if you rub her body, a good smell comes off of it. Her name is, unfortunately, because look, I'm an English speaker, so it's ironic to me. It actually says, okay, one other person, Miss Dung, an ironic name in English, says she emits a strong floral fragrance, but she kept it to herself. But then hearing about it on YouTube gave her the bravery to come forward and share the fact that she too.
Do we have any confirmation of either of these claims?
I mean, other than the YouTube channel and the fact that the story's making the rounds and that people have talked to these people, I don't know of anybody who's actually gone to Vietnam. I don't know how hard it is to go to Vietnam right now. I don't know what the vibe is on that, but it seems like the YouTuber is Vietnamese. I haven't seen the video, but this is a. Let me see if I can find some more primary. It's all in Vietnamese, so it's very hard for me to. His website is all in Vietnamese, so I can't really tell whether it's talking. But and none of it's all just pictures of articles are all the posts on this website. Huh. So I can't really tell whether or not he's gotten a whiff of this chick firsthand. But real talk, I can't stop thinking about these like good smelling ladies being like, yeah, it's the full moon and I smell amazing. Like, it's just super strange to me. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this. I don't know. Maybe it's a diet thing. The fact that they're both in the same country makes me believe that maybe there's some sort of diet, like a spice that if you go ham on it, you know, maybe you start to smell one way or another. I've definitely like, you know, I've definitely like smelled my own BO from time to time and been like, okay, I could get behind, or like,
no,
or like when you burp and you taste something that you ate earlier and it's good, or you smell your own shit and you're like, no, I'm kind of into this. No, you know this vibe. You
haven't farted and you've been like, you know, I appreciate
everybody. Nope. Anybody who doesn't do that is lying. Nope. I'll say that.
Immediately sus. Well, I don't smell like flowers. I don't know about you, but I smell like BO if I let myself not shower.
I smell like beefarino.
Oh, dude, don't shower. If you just smell like beefaroni, just let it go.
Why?
Let it ride.
No. Actually, if I had to guess, like, it's kind of like a sour, like it smells like, I'm trying to tell you what my BO smells like. It's a sour smell.
What is?
It's kind of truffly.
Pay for this.
It's kind of truffly. It's kind of truffly.
People pay for early access to these.
It's kind of truffly. Kind of smells like maybe like kinda a nice mushroom porridge, like a sort of sharp mushroom porridge.
Yeah, let it go. You know, let it linger. See if the world enjoys it after a little bit of time. See if people like, do I smell beefaroni? And start like looking around for like food.
Yeah, it's like Kramer's horse.
I don't have a beefaroni story or a BO story. I got a quick one. It's just science, Jesse. Let's wheel this around to science. A 70 million year old dinosaur that never hatched has been found within its egg, remarkably well preserved. Have you seen this yet?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Isn't it fucking cool?
I have seen this. Did not think this was the story that you were going to talk about when I asked you earlier if it was about a prehistoric creature.
Oh, you thought it was something more wild than that? Now I'm curious what you thought. No, this is just something that, because it's just fucking cool. A fossilized dinosaur egg containing an impeccably preserved embryo has been unearthed in China, and researchers say that it provides an unprecedented look at how the ancient creatures positioned themselves prior to hatching. According to a press release, the remarkable object boasts a rather amazing backstory, as it was first discovered back in 2000, and although it was believed to be a dinosaur egg, wound up sitting in storage at a mining company for a decade. When scientists finally got their hands on the egg and were able to examine it with modern tech, they were astounded by what they saw. Contained within the egg is what paleontologist Wai-Sum Ma described as a beautifully preserved embryo belonging to a group of bird-like dinosaurs known as Oviraptors. Sorry. The discovery was particularly enlightening, he explained, because most known non-avian dinosaur embryos are incomplete with skeletons disarticulated. As such, the complete nature of the new find, dubbed Baby Yingliang, allowed them to observe its bird-like posture, which Mu said had not been recognized in non-avian dinosaurs before. Until now, this tucking position had only been seen displayed by birds, but the newfound embryo suggests that it may actually have originated with dinosaurs. So if you actually go out and find, like, look at this egg, it is crazy, like, how much of it is preserved. And yeah, it's literally just looks like a baby bird.
There's like a beautiful drawing of it and like a real photo of it next to each other, and like every article about it. And it's awesome. It's crazy. It looks like a bird.
Yeah,
it is. It really does. It just looks like a bird. And hopefully maybe we can clone it. That'd be cool. I'd be into that. Listen, you met Jeff Goldblum. We're fine. He will run the park.
I don't think that's the correct answer there.
You don't think he would do a great job?
That man has been to that park multiple times and it's failed every single time.
I mean, that's fair, but maybe it's because he wasn't running it. Regardless, go check this out if you're a fan of this kind of, just curious. Like, the fact that this is an unfathomable, like, age, 70 million years, just you can't comprehend that. And we can still get a good look at this thing's skeleton and wondering maybe where it was when everything went to hell on this planet. It's just fascinating. It makes my mind wander, and I love it.
Well, hey, let's stay on science because I want to get real weird with you guys. This is a great article. New Science.
2 women in Vietnam. No, okay.
So New Science reports that a team in Australia has been growing brain cells.
Dude, this is a fucking crazy story too.
And what they call puddles of brain. Cortical Labs, a company involved in working with the integrating of biological neurons with more like traditional silicon-based computing hardware, has grown brain cells on a microelectronic array so they can like stimulate the cells. And these hybrid chips are basically able to learn and restructure themselves to get past problems that they throw at these brain cells. Well, they have in the past decided like different tests for them. And the most recent test that they're, promoting right now is the fact that they're teaching these brain cells how to play Pong. And
that's crazy.
The baseline for teaching an AI how to play Pong is 90 minutes. The dish brain, as they call it, managed to learn how to do it in 5.
Holy shit.
They state that it doesn't mean the AI would lose to the brain. It just means that the brain learned to play it faster, that the AI would probably formulate better strategies and be able to defeat the brain is just, like a human brain would have to keep playing and learn, but it picked up the idea of what Pong was faster than the AI. The AI was like, I don't get this. And the brain was like, easy. The chief scientific officer at Cortical Labs, Brett Kagan, told New Scientist, "We think it's fair to call them cyborg brains," and went on to explain that when the brains are moving the paddles in Pong, they're convinced they are the paddles. We often refer to them as a living matrix, he explains. When they're in the game, they believe they're the paddle in that game.
That's okay. This is like believe? The fucking. That's fucking crazy. First of all, that's insanity.
Yeah.
Because what if this is a game, dude? And we're just believing we are the people.
Welcome to how brains work.
Have you not seen The Matrix? Do you know what the plot is?
I mean, yes, okay, obviously,
but don't say obviously to me about you having seen a movie.
That's true. Fair enough.
That's what he is. That's what they're saying is the thing that I think all philosophical inclined people understand is in the end, you are your brain and then everything connected to your brain, and really. Your brain tells you what is real and what's not. Am I talking to you right now? Is this table actually a table?
That's because it's does that mean this brain dish is alive? Well, technically it is because it's brain cells.
Yeah.
But it's not, there's no
But the brain, the brain has no cognitive
a jellyfish
it existed and it was a person and it was the brain assumes it's a paddle because it's playing Pong. And it's hitting.
The real question now is if Ray Liotta from Hannibal can continue to be a gamer. You know what I mean? Like after Hannibal eats his brain out of his living head. By the way, that happens at the end of Hannibal. Sorry,
Spoiled it for me. I haven't seen it.
That's all right.
Okay.
It's not a really.
You kind of assume that's the direction it's going to go.
No, it's just a fucked up scene. It's we already know that he's down for the count, but he eats his, that scene in Indiana Jones where he's like, chilled a monkey brain. It's like that, but with Ray Liotta's brain. And I think he could play Pong now, and that just makes me feel better.
Yeah, we just put the brain cells in him. I think it's interesting, the idea of they're growing brain cells. Brain cells notoriously not something that regenerates. So that's interesting. I think that can be very helpful down the line when it comes, like they're talking about biological neurons on, microelectronic arrays to replace all the silicon-based stuff that we keep, spoiler, we're running out of raw materials to make a lot of the stuff we need for your phone. That's why when you buy a new phone now, a lot of times they're like, yo, if you return your old phone, we'll give you $1,000 for it.
Yeah.
Like,
they need those bits. Yeah.
Dude. This is like a huge step toward getting to that episode of Star Trek where he has to debate if Data's a real living thing or not.
Measure of a Man.
Measure of a Man.
Great
Thank
episode.
you.
Picard
love that episode.
v. Riker. Oh, it's lovely.
What a great. That was season 1, right? One of the only season 1 episodes that wasn't trash.
Yeah. Well, I don't know about trash, but okay.
Season 1 was rough, man. But regardless, like that feels like the next step of like, oh man, that's why I'm having a hard time processing, because it's like it's alive, but is it a life? Not really, I guess.
I mean, is a jellyfish alive?
Yes,
like it's like I think this thing is more alive than a jellyfish.
Yeah, welcome.
Yeah, that's nuts.
Well, wait, do you want to know the
concept of life, bro?
Do you want to know what the other prehistoric creature that I was?
Yeah, please.
So, just because I feel like people are going to be like, what was it? In England, a piece of like the cliff near the ocean fell off. Just like a huge, big block of like sandstone or whatever fell off of a cliff in like Newcastle. Like I think like near Newcastle. I don't know. I'm not a geography master with the UK. I apologize. But basically, it fell. It exposed this thing, and some graduate students were like, "The hell?" And apparently, it was a millipede fossil that they found, but it is the size of a car. It is a millipede the size of a car.
That's awesome.
That is 326 million years old from the Carboniferous period, when like the Earth was like the big ferns and it was all wet,
oxygen rich, and can sustain enormous life.
Yeah, how it could still be today. No, I'm just kidding.
No, I don't think.
But basically, this thing there's only been 3 of these. They're called Arthropleura. The other 2 that have been found are way smaller than this. They lived for 45 million years as a species before going extinct. They don't know what it ate, but they think it probably ate a lot of like nuts, seeds, leaves, but also like amphibian, like living prey. Imagine giant bugs being a thing. Imagine I mean, there's pretty big bugs today. There's like fairly large bugs compared to most bugs. But imagine like you're in a jungle, and instead of being afraid of like
Island.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Instead of being like afraid of a fucking lion, you're like, I hope that big ass millipede doesn't come. And there's actually pictures of this. So if you want to see,
I'm looking at one right now.
Yeah, this. I'll give you the link. You can see the actual fossil. You can see the actual like they think it looked like. But yeah, it is the size. It looks like the fossil at Disneyland when you get off to the end of Big Thunder Mountain. It's like sticking out of a rock wall. It's awesome.
It's wild because like the first picture, it's hard to tell like how big that actually is. But then the one below it where the people have like ropes around it, you're like, oh, that thing is huge.
Right.
Yeah, it's nutty. So that's what I thought you were talking about. That's it.
Still, that's awesome. Thanks for bringing that up too.
Patreon.com
that shit.
/Chilluminati pod.
Thank you guys so much for listening. We'll be back soon with another Minisode as we approach Minisode 100. Thank you all for your continued support. We wouldn't be able to do this without you. And we'll see you guys next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you to ButcherBox for sponsoring this episode. If you don't know what ButcherBox is, baby, it is a box of meat
do with that information as you will. As somebody who now lives in Texas, meat is pretty much on my menu almost every single day. So it's important to me that the stuff I'm getting is good and healthy. And as Thanksgiving comes along, so comes the turkey. So how's their turkey? Well, their turkey is free range without antibiotics or added hormones, and it is freaking delicious. And if you get ButcherBox, you're gonna get a peace of mind for free. You know what I mean? ButcherBox takes the guesswork out of finding high quality meat and seafood that you can trust. 100% grass-fed beef, free-range organic chicken, pork raised, crate-free and wild-caught seafood, all humanely raised, no antibiotics or added hormones. With ButcherBox, on top of getting good meat, you're getting convenient meat. My favorite kind of meat to put into my mouth. Get just what you want delivered directly to your doorstep. Free shipping for the continental US and no surprise fees. Choose from a variety of box plan options, from curated all the way to customized, and change your plan whenever you want. And with them, you're getting exclusive member deals so you can save big on your favorite cuts of meat. The main course for Thanksgiving dinner can sometimes be a main source of stress. Not anymore though. ButcherBox is offering our listeners free turkey with their first order. Sign up today at butcherbox.com/chill and use code CHILL to get one 10 to 14 pound turkey for free in your first box. You don't have to think about freaking dinner anymore for Thanksgiving anyway. That's butcherbox.com/chill and use code CHILL to claim this deal.
Hello, my little Chilluminats, and welcome back to Minisode 77, I believe is where we're at right now.
I love how low energy it is coming into the episode. It feels so good. It feels like you're coming to like the cow, like a silk robe is coming sliding onto your body.
But like, you know,
see it.
Robots are doing it.
Yeah, like having sex with each other.
What?
Sex robot.
Sex robot activated.
He's made of sex
for sex purposes.
All right, yeah. So I know we all got something. Jesse's got something to do with The Exorcist.
Yeah.
Alex teased his a little bit. So I'm going to jump in with mine because it's not paranormal. It's just insanity. I came across this news article a few days ago. It's from the last week of December. There is a war happening in India in a village between monkeys and dogs.
Yes.
I don't know if you've read this, gentlemen, but the story basically goes that this one dog in this village killed these two monkeys' baby. And out of revenge, the monkeys have now killed over 250 dogs.
Whoa.
As revenge for them, for the dogs killing their baby.
They're calling it a war, but like in my understanding, monkeys are quite more advanced than dogs. So are we talking about like just dog slaughter via monkeys? Like,
yeah, I'll go over how they're killing them here. The monkeys, though, update. The monkeys are now dead. They were hunted down because it was the same two monkeys that were just killing all the dogs in the village. So
it was like the movie Iron Monkey, but with real monkeys.
yeah. I guess as close as you can get. The two monkeys have reportedly been captured in India for killing 250 some odd dogs.
Oh my God.
In a murderous revenge massacre after pooches killed one of their babies. The primate perps allegedly slaughtered the dogs by dragging them to the tops of buildings and trees in Lavul village.
All right. Time out.
What is this? The fucking raid?
Yeah,
what is this?
I know. It's nuts. This is again small village in India.
Where's this article from?
Right now, the one I'm reading is New York Post, but there's like a bunch of articles.
No. All right. All I'm saying is New York Post or anyone else out there, how dare you try to play coy and funny with every time we read a story from anywhere, there's always something included by the author that's like, haha, it's a joke. And what was the primate line?
Primate perps.
Get out. Like, I'm going to use some alliteration here. Like, F you.
The prickling primate perps pulled the pups to the top of the precipice.
F you. That sucks. I hate when people do that. That sucks. Get out of here.
A little spice to the sentence.
Fuck are you, Jimmy Olsen? Why don't you call fucking Superman, you fucking geek?
It's nuts, man. Yeah, the two monkeys involved in the killing of many puppies have been captured by Nagpur Forest Department team in Bede. Sanchin Kanda forest officer in Maharashtra's Bede district told the local news. So yeah, they were dragging dogs and puppies to the tops of buildings and dropping them off. Like kicking them out.
This is okay. New headline for this story. It's the Ook Saints.
so stupid. That's so stupid, Alex. I love it. I
can't help it when I'm a genius. You know what I mean? I can't help it when
I've seen. So I get that reference because
you lived in Boston for a long time. You have to have seen it. I feel like they make you watch it at school or something.
Yeah, I was like watching it late teens, and my friends like, you got to see this fucking cool movie. Yeah. It was all right.
It's anyway, it's worth a watch. I love the movie Crank as well, so you know where I'm coming from.
That's fair enough. That's basically the extent of the story. The monkeys have been caught at this point, but the monkeys went and killed essentially every dog in the village as revenge, which is insane that they were just dragging them to the tops of buildings for days and just murdering
that is
dog after dog.
That's fucking insane.
That's my story. That's all I got. I just wanted to leave you with that taste.
You got a big one or a little one, Jesse?
Mine's kind of big.
Okay. I'll do Baba Vanga. Have you guys heard of Baba Vanga?
No.
She was a blind mystic. She was from Bulgaria.
Nice.
Her actual name is Vangelia Pandeva Dimitrova. She was from Strumica, which is like a mountain village. She died at age 85 in 1996. She was known as the Nostradamus of the Balkans. And she kind of has like a superhero origin story where up until she was 12 years old, she was just like a normal kid. Nothing strange going on. And then during a freak tornado, she like went blind after being thrown in the air and then back onto the ground. And her family found her days later, close to death, with her eyes sealed shut and encrusted with a thick layer of dust. And she said that during that time, she experienced her first vision and believed that she had been instilled with the ability to heal people and predict the future.
Huh.
And so I'm going to give you some things that she has predicted before, things that she has predicted for 2022. And then we can, if you want, we can go back to 2018 and 2019 as well and see what she's predicted. But here's 85% success rate here from Baba Vanga. Here's some stuff that she has predicted. Apparently, she predicted the Kursk nuclear submarine disaster in 1980, where Baba said Kursk would be covered with water and the whole world will weep over it, claiming the disaster would happen in August 1999. But the Russian sub sank in August 2000, killing everybody on board. So she was off by a year. She got the month right. Pretty loose interpretation, I would say. Apparently, she also predicted ISIS. There's no further
That's the end. She's like, I predicted.
They say
ISIS.
she predicted ISIS. They say she predicted the Syrian gas attack. She warned of a showdown before she died in the country where Muslims would use chemical warfare against Europeans. This is thought to be similar to the suspected gas attack, like that Assad did, that he launched against his own people. I don't know if that's 100% true. Says she also predicted Brexit. She said that Europe will cease to exist by 2017 is what she said. So I don't know unless you're the most of British person in the world, I don't think that you think Europe doesn't exist without England in it. Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. She also said that the 44th US president would be black. But she also said that he would be the last president, which I think, we can be the judge of whether she was right or not on that. In 1989, she claimed the American brethren will fall after being attacked by the steel birds and innocent blood will be gushing. Some people think this is a 9/11 prediction. She predicted that Putin would win the election in 2018. In 1979, during a meeting with Valentin Sidorov, Vanga said, all will thaw as if ice and only one will remain untouched. Vladimir's glory, the glory of Russia. And then she said that just before she died, she said that Russia will not only survive, it will dominate the world via World War III. But after that cheeriness, let's talk about 2022. Baba Vanga's picks. Here we go.
Baba Vanga's 2022 picks. Ooh, I'm excited.
All right, can we each put a little money on some and see which ones we think will come out true and not?
I'll give you a percentage on each one.
I'm gonna say none.
This is the Sun reporting on an article from the Mirror. So
okay,
that's like fuck. That's like fuckception, right?
We call that repurposing content in the industry.
They call it just two babbling idiots talking back and forth to each other. All right, here we go. She predicted a virtual reality takeover for the coming year.
What?
I'm going to give that like a 70%.
What do you mean?
I don't think I'd give
What
it a
does that
70.
mean? Take over how? That's too
I'm gonna
vague.
interpret it as the rise of the metaverse.
I'm going to interpret it as that is dumb. The metaverse sucks.
I think the metaverse is for dummies with no taste or love in their hearts, but I do think that we're going to be a lot closer to what's that movie that has all the Ninja Turtles fighting the Iron Giant and shit. We're going to be there soon.
Mnemonic?
Yeah, that's the one. We're going to be there soon. The Matrix 3, Johnny Mnemonic.
Yeah.
She's also said she predicts that we're going to have another pandemic that's going to come from Siberia that's caused by frozen virus that's going to be released by climate change. So that sucks.
We've already seen like something not like that happen, but haven't we discovered like old bacteria and shit in ice already?
It's definitely a thing we're really worried about.
Yeah.
So that's one of the big worries. That's like the number one worry of global warming. That's like not environmental.
Look, future lady, enough of that shit. I'm over it.
If you're not gonna, I will say this though, if you're not on the team of saving the environment just for the sole fact that animals and plants are awesome and make me happy, then you know what? Let's prevent the second pandemic that's like an ancient virus that was good enough to kill the dinosaurs that will just rip our faces off. She also predicts that many cities will face water shortages that will result in political consequences as alternative solutions are used. Not sure what that means, but the water wars are coming.
Mountain Dew.
Not a joke.
It's all Mountain Dew.
The invasion of Earth by aliens this year with the arrival of an asteroid.
She's telling us. Wait. What?
Whoa!
Wait. What?
Whoa! Can I tell you? Just yesterday, I was reading a Reddit post where a guy was like, "Yo, I have it on good authority that an approaching asteroid has aliens on it."
Good authority.
Wait, where did you read that?
Just like a Reddit post. It was like 2 a.m. And I was like going through Reddit.
Was he like 7 years from now, they will arrive. And they did some really weird things to me, but I'd rather not talk about it. But here is a 3-hour essay.
Damn.
I mean, I'm into it. Like, I hope they're nice, but like, it's weird that we have to worry about World War III as well as aliens coming to the planet.
A virus. Here's the thing: does that virus wipe out the aliens? Because I'm putting money on that. I've seen War of the Worlds. Those aliens are screwed.
That's it.
Wide net. Oh yeah. Okay. Real quick. Virtual reality. I'm giving 70%. The virus pandemic. I'm giving a 20%. Mostly because I don't want it to happen. The water wars starting this year, I'm going to give that like a low percentage. I don't think we're at water war status yet.
Yeah, that's for future us to deal with.
It's definitely still for us to deal with. We're not going to get out of this one.
But yeah, that's like 5 to 10 years.
Unless suddenly we hit the Human Instrumentality Project and we all get merged with the consciousness of Greta Thunberg, we're not getting this one done.
No, we form a singularity and we just sort of.
Who's Shinji in that scenario?
All of us, every single person alive. The invasion of Earth by aliens with the arrival of an asteroid, I'm gonna give that one 40%. I'm gonna
give that 40%.
I'm gonna give it 40 with a loose interpretation of the word invasion. I don't think we're going to get a military force from an alien world. I think we're going to get
0%. It's not.
I think we're going to find space
60.
life forms on a space rock. I think we're going to find
0% alien invasion.
It's coming, dude. It's happening. I've been ready for this my whole life.
0%.
This is the year.
0%.
I think a rock from the asteroid belt that has some moss on it from another place is my idea of an alien invasion, where I'm giving it 40%. If we're talking about bleep blorps with guns, I'm down to 0. I'm down to 0.
How dare you call them bleep blorps? That's racist. How dare you?
Offended, dude. I am offended.
If that's what we're talking about this year, I don't think we're at invasion. I think that
now I just picture Alex at like a bar with a beer, cowboy
Alpha
hat
Centauri,
on, watching TV like, these bleep blorps coming into our country.
From the Archie Bunker of like aliens.
Yes.
Like totally chill, like the wokest human being around, but when it comes to aliens.
Yeah.
Except for aliens. Yeah. That's where you draw the line, man.
You have to draw a line somewhere. You know where my line is? In 10
years, you're going to be shouting, make Earth great again.
Here's my thing.
Mega.
I'm never going to get behind, like the thing that I can fast.
That sucks.
The thing that I can fast see approaching is my like disapproval of transhumanism.
See, you and I are on the other side of that. Like, part of me, I'm in.
I'm not
Put me in a computer. Let me live forever.
I'm not against other people doing this. I don't care like what you do with your body. You know, I've played Soma. I don't care. I'm just saying I'm not on board. I'm not trying to get I'll put a CD player in my butt, but I'm not going to like
How do you
put
feel about
myself.
cyborgs?
I'm into cyborgs. I'm not going on a computer.
And let me ask you another question. How do you feel about human cyborg relations?
I'm a protocol droid myself.
My man.
Oh, let's go.
Next one is a famine in India due to a drop in temperatures that will result in locusts attacking crops. This sounds wrong to me. It just sounds scientifically
it doesn't sound
wrong.
right.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm going to give that one a low percentage. I don't know anything about India. I could tell you, like, literally, you were like, there's a war in India. And I was like, thinking to myself, there literally could be a war in India. That's how, like, in my own bullshit I am in my house right now. But, like, I don't know about a famine with locusts because the temperatures are going down. That seems opposite to me, but I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. More earthquakes and tsunamis with intense bouts of flooding in Australia and parts of Asia. That sounds like a 10 out of 10. That seems like
that sounds like it's happened a bunch already. So
that's going to happen
probably.
for sure.
Yeah.
And yeah, she died 25 years ago, but she's still there. We can keep going, but that's her.
Like Nostradamus.
That's her predictions for 2022. We have her predictions for 2018 and we have her predictions for 2019, but that's all we got.
All right. Well,
interesting.
Some of those seem like common sense. Some of them seem
Bold
out there, but I'm
swings.
into it.
Some bold swings from Baba Vanga.
Yeah, bold swinging Baba Vaz, our nickname back in high school.
Bold swinging Baba. They called her. Yeah. Yeah.
That Bulgarian mountainside high school that she went to.
Yep. They yodeled up to school both ways. That's a joke for your dads. All right. Hey, we talked about in the episode The Exorcist. And so today I come to you from Monday, December 20th. Boy whose case inspired the Exorcist, I can't even say the word, is named by US Magazine.
Oh, they like outed the boy.
Yes.
Dang.
The boy, previously known as Roland Doe, underwent exorcism in Cottage City, Maryland and St. Louis, Missouri in 1949. Ronald Edwin Hunkeler died last year, a month before his 86th birthday, suffering a stroke at home in Marriottsville, Maryland. In adult life, Hunkeler, I don't know how to pronounce that, was a NASA engineer who worked on the Apollo space missions of the 60s and who patented the technology that helped design space shuttle heat panels.
Huh.
Cool.
Heat panels, eh?
Yeah. Huh. This is an interesting thing that I don't quite get the way they write this, but I'll assume it was a friend. One of his companions, a 29-year-old woman who asked not to be named, told the New York Post that Hunkeler...
Fellowship of the Ring? What is going on here?
I don't know. Yeah, I have no idea what that means.
The cock ring.
Was always on edge about his NASA colleagues discovering that he was the inspiration for The Exorcist. Hunkeler eventually retired from NASA in 2001 after working for the agency for 40 years.
Damn.
Born in 1935 and raised by a middle-class family in Cottage City, Hunkeler began experiencing paranormal activities at 14 and reported hearing knocking and scratching sounds from behind his bedroom walls. The Reverend Luther Schultz, Hunkeler's family minister, eventually wrote to the parapsychology laboratory at Duke University, North Carolina, and in March 1949, he explained to them how chairs are moving, and one time a chair threw him out of it, and his bed shook whenever Hunkeler was in it.
Dang.
Schultz also explained how the family floors were scarred from the sliding of heavy furniture, and how a picture of Christ on the wall often shook whenever Hunkeler was nearby.
Jeez.
The family eventually sought the help of William Bowdern, a Jesuit who conducted more than 20 exorcism rituals on Hunkeler in the span of 3 months. Writing in his diary on the 10th of March, 1949, Bowdern noted that Hunkeler entered a trance-like state as 14 people witnessed and watched one of these exorcisms. Hunkeler was then relocated to St. Louis to be treated for demonic possession. It seems that whatever force was writing the words, whatever force was responsible for this, actually liked going to St. Louis because one evening the word Louis, Louis, or Louis, was written on one of the boys' ribs in deep red scratches.
Damn.
Next, when there was some question of the time of departure, the word Saturday was written on the boy's hip. As to the length of time,
weekend.
Yeah, as the length of time the mother would be staying in St. Louis, another message was printed on the boy's chest 3.5 weeks. The printing always appeared without any motion on the part of the boy's hands. Hunkler was admitted to the Alexian Brothers Hospital in St. Louis on 21st of March 1949. Nearly a month later, Hunkler broke into a violent tantrum, screaming, cursing, and voicing in Latin phrases, as Jesuit priests allegedly cast the demon out of his body. And then this is a quote from Washington Post reporter Bill Brinkley from 1949. He has been freed by a Catholic priest of possession by the devil, Catholic sources reported yesterday. So this is like, they have all the record stuff in this, but shortly before his death, this is the craziest part. So again, he died last year of a stroke. Shortly before his death, a Catholic priest showed up at Hunkler's home unexpectedly, performed last rites, said his companion. I have no idea how the father knew to come, but he got Ron to heaven. Ron's in heaven. He's with God now, she told the New York Post.
That's
and
wild.
That's how it ends.
That's crazy.
That's like probably that same priest who showed up and talked to Jason Miller in front of the Exorcist house.
So
Wasn't there another Exorcist movie? Wasn't there like another movie that's like also based off Roland Doe?
Oh, yes, for sure.
I think there's. Like,
I think it's super interesting that it seemed like fly under the radar. Like a story like that existed. But I love the fact this guy, like, you know, when he was 14, he went through some shit and then led a life. And like had a whole
very
thing.
Big ass life. Yeah.
Yeah. He got us to space. Moon. Yeah.
That's amazing.
That's nuts.
Yeah. Fascinating stuff. I was like,
love that.
That's cool.
So let me just say, going back to the main episode, I don't know what I believe about the Exorcist film. That article right there was like,
that's a lot of like pretty verifiable stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I wonder if we'll have like a deep book about his life now that we know who he is, and maybe there'll be some investigations in the future, and maybe we'll learn a little bit more.
If you want a great look at what exorcisms are like, you should watch the Nathan For You episode where he tries to market haunted houses on the real estate market. You gotta watch it. Do yourself a favor.
That sounds cool.
That's a little, it's more funny than cool, but you really just need to watch it. If you have 20 minutes, this is just a rec this is a secret Patreon only rec for people. Go watch Nathan For You, the episode with the realtor.
I'm
the
looking it up right now.
It's fucking incredible. That's all I got.
Yeah, that's it for all of us today here at the Patreon Minisode. Thank you guys so much for the support. Thank you guys for enjoying the episode. We'll be back next week with a brand new Minisode for all of you in part 2 of Alex's main episode at episode 135.
Part 2 of part 1.
Part 2 of part 1 of a now potentially 2-part or 4-parter.
Part 2 of part 1 of a 2-part, 4-part.
Exactly.
Split into thirds. It's got periods, quarters, and endings.
He gets
it. And then the very last episode is actually the Greenstone part 3.
Bonus overtime.
Yeah.
Bonus overtime.
He gets it.
All right. Goodbye, everybody. Thank you so much. Bye-bye. Hey, thank you to Raycon for sponsoring these episodes. And I am very happy to have Raycon back in my corner. I'm sure you've already heard of Raycon at this point. They have a bajillion collaborations with creators across the digital spectrum. And in the 5 years since they launched, they've become known for a few things. Their comfort, which is their perfect fit included, an impressive battery life, which I will absolutely personally vouch for. I use my earbuds every night before to go to bed, and I only have to charge those things like once every 4 or 5 days. And of course, premium sound at an affordable price, which is why I'm so excited to share that a new player has entered the game. Bing, 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 bong, bong, bing, bong. That's video game noises. Raycon's gaming series, both earbuds and headphones. Both of them wireless. The earbuds are compact, portable, universal, with the headphones being comfortable and immersive. Hypersync low latency tech allows you to hear and see what you're playing lag-free, which is huge, but get this, they also have haptic vibration, which enhances your immersion with sound that you can literally feel vibrating against your eardrums, and maybe for some games, that could be a lot more fun than intended. They come with 3 sound profiles, pure, balanced, or bass if that's what you love, and the optimized gaming mic, which of course focuses on your voice and blocks out noise from, everywhere else in the room. It's so simple. All you have to do is seamlessly pair with
any of the major platforms that with a click of a button. And as always, you get a 30-day Raycon happiness guarantee with free shipping and returns, no questions asked. They also offer a buy now and pay later option. So stay on the winning team and go to buyraycon.com/CP today to get 15% off your Raycon order. You'll also get $20 off Raycon's gaming earbuds or $10 off their gaming headphones. That's buyraycon.com/CP to score 15% off and even more savings. Buyraycon.com/CP.
Hello, my little Chilluminats, and welcome to Minisode 78. Today, we bring you a delectable taste across the internet.
I need to let you know,
many sites.
The number 78 can never and will never be sexy.
78. I gave him my best shot.
78. No, doesn't do it for me.
Number 78.
It's not even scary. It's not even like a chills number. 78 is the least cool number.
The least cool number.
Yeah.
We got some good stuff for you today. I know what you two got, so let me just do mine real quick because it's pretty easy.
You know what I got? You don't even know what I got.
Well, you said you got a great article, so that usually means it's going to be beefier than what I've got. Because my initial topic was that the Asparamancer had given us her 2022 predictions, and I was really excited about that. But I read through the Asparamancer predictions. They were kind of like generic and boring. So
not as good as Baba Vanga's?
Not nearly as good as Baba Vanga's. Go watch that episode last week, everybody. It was great. So instead, some UFOs have been spotted, everybody.
Oh, damn.
Over the coast of Florida, a video of some mysterious lights. Let me get you boys the link so you can watch this news article.
No, we're sure this was just Florida man doing something dumb.
It could, I mean, I wouldn't, I guess maybe.
I'm about to watch this and immediately debunk it.
No, it's I'll give you the time code at 30 seconds. You can see the lights over the ocean. They just took a picture of it. I guess there's no video. It's just a picture of them. But there you go. Definitive proof of aliens visiting here. I'll read the article while you do that. A couple in Florida were left scratching their heads when they spotted a curious cluster of lights hovering silently in the night. So they were just hovering quietly over the ocean. According to local media report, Matt Krause and his wife experienced the intriguing sighting on Wednesday evening in the coastal city of Naples. Initially, the pair noticed one very bright object out over the water, but things quickly took a strange turn. New lights appeared near it, and they got very, very bright at that point, Krause recalled. There were 4 of them, and they kind of moved in different directions. Puzzled by what they were seeing, the couple managed to snap a few photographs of the odd UFO cluster and are still wondering what they witnessed. What I can explain is why they were so bright, Krause mused, noting that he was also puzzled by how one of them was stationary for 15 minutes. So essentially, your kind of typical UFO encounter, very quiet lights. All of a sudden, a bunch appeared. They started getting bright, moving, and then they scattered and disappeared.
My thing is why not a video?
Yeah, I'm curious. Why not a video? It really would have served so much better for their argument and everybody else if we could see a video of these things moving and not just like a weird picture, especially if they was there for 15 minutes.
What's interesting is that, first off, I didn't realize how close Naples was to one of my favorite places. Shout out to Marco Island, Florida. Lovely. You should check it out.
Marco Island.
You should go check it out. Anyway, also just nearby Naples, Florida, just to put this out there, Coast Guard, Air Force Base, Civil Air Patrol. Just saying, there's a lot of possibilities. They've got all sorts of things going on there that this could easily be.
Well, I don't know what to tell you. That's aliens to me, man.
It's certainly
good
4
pick.
bright lights.
The light on the water looks good. I'll give it that.
Well, let's be honest. Listen, the moon cube ended up being a fucking pebble. All right. I need some sort of alien news, man.
I get you. I feel bad for you.
I'm not surprised that that's what it ended up being.
You know what? I did learn a lot from that, though, from the pebble on the moon. When people were like, well, how is it possible that from so far away it could look like one thing and up close look like something else? And thank God for scientists and like nerds coming in being like, yeah, so there's no atmosphere on the moon. So here's 8 million reasons why it wouldn't look like. It was like,
yeah.
Scientific reasons. Just anybody who knows anything about cameras can tell you. You know, it's a very basic scientific principle. It sucks.
But I think we all knew the minute they said we saw this thing, and we even joked about it. The minute we get up to it, people are going to be like, well, that's just a cover up.
Wow.
That's just how people are.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure that's already running around, and
They
I haven't seen
replaced
any.
it with a regular stone.
No, science can't happen, man. Science means they're lying. If they give you 8,000 reasons, scientific reasons,
You'd be surprised how many
8,000
people
lies behind the
absolutely
truth.
believe that. You'd be
I know.
surprised.
It sucks.
Here's the thing,
I am
science,
not
once you start to learn, once you start to actually learn how science works and how physics work and how this like space and time and light work, it's exciting all the time. You don't have to like stake your life in like things that you think would be cool. If you understand it all, it's all very cool. You can just get into it,
existential,
and you don't have to feel like a dumbass every time somebody tells you you're wrong, and then you lash out and double down like a fucking idiot.
Yeah, if you are like a scientist, you realize you're mostly wrong all the time. That's the whole thing.
That's the fun of it. Yeah, that's the fun. Because
You're trying to
imagine
prove
when you do find it, you know?
Yeah.
Being a scientist means you're trying to prove yourself wrong constantly. That's like literally the whole point.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's my depressing article. Whoever wants to take it away, take it away.
Check it out. So
so ready.
I got two quick things for you. Very similar things. These are both from Coast to Coast AM, but this one comes courtesy of Phantoms and Monsters. Someone who lives in Leesburg, Virginia. A couple Thursdays ago, a trail camera that they had at around 6 a.m. in their backyard usually just picks up like deer or whatever walking by or whatever, bypassing animals. But this clip that I'm about to show you, it's just, you know the Fresno night crawlers?
Yes, I'm excited now. Yes.
This is like the opposite of the Fresno night crawlers.
Never mind.
I'm excited for a different reason.
No,
now.
it's good. It's just as good, but it's the opposite part of the body.
Link me, daddy. The opposite part of the body.
What is that?
It's right at the beginning of the clip.
What?
It's like right at the beginning of the clip.
That this shirt man?
Pale humanoid, Leesburg, Virginia.
Can I make this playback slower? Yes, I can.
Yes, you can.
Let's slow this thing down for a minute because I already have a guess. Slow it down to 0.25.
Yeah.
And watch it with in mind. It's the ass of an animal, and we're watching a tail wag.
That's no tail. Those are like
That's
jeans.
not like a cow tail to you?
No, those are like jeans.
No, slow. That is not jeans.
0.25. I'm 0.25
And pause
playing.
it. And like pause it when it's bright enough. That doesn't look like jeans. That looks like freaking wrinkled flesh.
No way. That's jeans.
It looks to me like a Jar Jar Binks' hand. Like whipping around his body like in a wide arc, no?
If you pause at 0.0000000 at the very beginning,
Yeah.
whatever that is, you can clearly see sew lines. You can see the lines of something sewed together.
Top. Yeah, going up from like maybe like 15%.
Those are like hemlines. Yeah, there's
like
clearly something there.
down the left side. There's like an angular upwards arcing.
And then it goes down. Okay, yeah, I can see that.
But I see like a cow's ass too. I see what you're saying.
A little, just the thing that wags. It just reminds me of like a cow's tail. And
Yeah,
so
I totally see it. I see what you're saying. But I'm seeing
sucks
Jar
about
Jar
this
Binks'
footage
tubular fingers.
Is it doesn't have a lead up. You know what I mean? It's literally the beginning is the thing, and then the rest of the footage is nothing.
Yeah, it's unfortunate because it's a wildlife camera because it goes off like when it triggers the camera. So whatever happened, it got pretty close before it triggered the camera. So that's one of the two trail cam type sightings. This one is from Montana. This one is a photograph. It's captured by Donald Bromley, who placed several of these like trail cameras around near Red Gate, near Deer Lodge. They have batteries that last 1 year, but this camera lost all its power in 2 months. And when he examined the images that were taken by all the trail cams, this image that he has is only on the one that it's on. The other ones don't have this image. So I'm going to show it to you. It's not, it's not in motion, so it's a little bit underwhelming compared to the previous one, but check it out. Tell me what you think.
Looks like a reptilian.
This is kind of a no audio situation. He said he thought it was a person at first, but then he noticed that it had kind of like a strange bulbous head. And the more he looked at it, the more it freaked him out, which, kind of happens with the word sprinkle if you think about it for too long. But he says it's unrealistic that somebody would be passing through here because to get to the spot publicly, is a quote from him, to get to that spot publicly, it's miles, literally miles to get there. And you probably have to drop 1,000 feet in elevation just to get to that point. So he thinks that it would be strange for it to just be a person, especially when it looks like they're wearing like something strange or almost nothing.
I agree. It's very strange, but also
it is weird looking.
To discount like wilderness. Look, I've said this story. I'll say it again. There are people who live in the woods, and that is like, and I don't know if they're friendly or not, but every time I've seen them, I've been like, oh, are we dying right now?
Living off the land has given them bulbous heads.
I mean, maybe. You telling me a naked person out in the woods got caught on camera, I would believe you.
Engorged bulbous heads.
I mean, that's a blurred movement. That could be hair.
You're right, but it looks like, I mean, you see how it looks like the Great Gazoo, right?
No, it looks like an alien ghost is what it looks like. Yeah.
Yeah, it does. It's a very weird picture.
Yeah.
But the fact that it's so blurry and in motion makes it's like hard. It's
very hard to tell. Yeah.
It's pretty good. I'll put you just gotta bug me. I'll put them up. I'm sorry,
awesome.
Everyone.
Why are you sorry?
Sometimes I forget. That's all I'm saying. Sometimes I forget to put it up. I need somebody to bug me because I'm, I don't know if I have ADHD, but it feels like I do sometimes.
Okay.
All right. Well, Jesse, what do you got for?
I want to wrap this up today. I'm just, I'm just gonna like read most of the article to you because it's. I can't describe it the way this article does in such a great. This is one of those few times in my life where I'm blown away that like, you know what? It isn't just a garbage article. This one's very nice. I think this is something we need for 2022 article. Moving forward, putting it all out there in the ether. This is for everyone at home. We're going to head to Tokyo and meet a guy named Shoji Morimoto, who has been accustomed to almost his entire life. He's 38 years old now. Almost his entire life, he has been told by his family, his classmates, his coworkers, everyone that he is a do-nothing. He is the kind of guy that just sits back and lets others take the initiative, and he's a nobody. And they're like, you're going to be a nobody.
Is a musical about to happen to him?
In 2018, unemployed on a whim, the self-described slacker opened a Twitter account under the moniker Do Nothing Rent a Man and began offering his diffident, like his companionship to people, but saying he will not, like, he's not going to lift stuff for you. He's not like, literally, he's just going to be there.
It's like a friendly presence.
Yes. And he sent it out to the world. He's like, look, I will do this. And he said, I lend myself out to do nothing, which means I don't make any special effort. I don't initiate conversation. I reply to chit chat, but that's it. I'm not going to, like lift your stuff or clean your thing. I'm not going to do whatever. And they say he schedules up to 3 appointments every single day.
What?
He has turned down requests to clean houses, to be a friend, to do laundry, to make scintillating banter, visit a haunted house, pose nude. But he has stood in the freezing cold in the rain to be the audience for a struggling street musician, accompanied the painfully self-conscious on outings to shop or to the restaurants so they don't have to eat alone, and even shared cake with a lonely soul on a birthday. He says people use me in different ways. Some people are lonesome. Some people feel it's a shame to go anywhere interesting alone, and they want someone to share their impressions with.
I would do this if I lived in Japan. I would trust this. I would trust this if I lived in Japan.
Yeah, it's like what's amazing is there's a huge variety of personalities, circumstances, and situations, and that's striking to me every time I go out and do this stuff. On a recent weekday, he met a woman in her 30s, one of his regulars, and after their greetings, they sat down, drank coffee in complete silence. The woman, who didn't want her name put out there, said Mr. Rental offers a safe space with no judgment, no strings attached, no talking. So she just like sat there with him, and that was enough for her. It's crazy. That like that's so simple and like beautiful in a way.
Right? Yeah, I was gonna say that's kind of nice.
Yeah, and he said Japanese women tend to worry about what others think and about not being a burden to others. And he said, it's exhausting. So it's freeing when they can hang out with me, and they don't have to obsess over all that stuff.
Yeah.
The concept of offering to be a +1 at restaurants or on shopping trips is not unheard of in Japan, but Morimoto was perhaps the first to entertain a wide range of assignments, air quotes, for nothing more than the cost of the car fare and, if needed, meals. So he isn't even like charging a bunch to do this. He's doing it because he's like a good dude.
That's wild.
Cool. Yeah. Followed online by more than 250,000 people. He trudges around town, often going outside town too to meet with people on this steady stream of clients as he has. He is a rent-a-man, and it struck a chord with the workaholic and conformist country of Japan. Thousands of curious encounters later, his experiences have earned him a living. He's written 4 books, including a manga comic. He has
What?
Yeah.
Damn.
It's about joining clients for a few hours at a cafe or an outing, providing moral support while a client filed for divorce, that kind of thing. While his clientele skews overwhelmingly female, some of the more poignant stories he has come from men who are, just aching to have a total stranger's ear. There was one young man stuck in a soul-killing office job who asked this dude, the rent-a-man, to meet him on the swings after work, just so, and this is a quote, to briefly relive the joy of being alive.
That's depressing.
That sounds like an advertisement for Earthbound is what that sounds like.
That's good.
Another unforgettable client was a lonely young man who asked to share a home-cooked meal. And an unbearable secret, his mother had raised him to a life of crime, and he'd been sent to a reformatory for his role in a robbery that left a woman dead.
Oh
and
my
yet,
God.
He told Mr. Rental he still pined for the love of his mother, even though she ruined his life.
Holy shit.
Mr. Rental's signature
sad.
props, a blue cap and backpack, and his inexplicable minor celebrity status inspired a 12-part semi-fictionalized Amazon Prime series last year.
What is it called?
I do not
Rent-A-Man?
know.
Yeah, I kind of want to see what that's all about.
Have you heard of that show, Gaycation?
Yes. Yeah.
With Elliot Page?
Mm-hmm. Oh, I think so. Yeah.
Went to Japan to they got permission to film this guy come out to his mom, and with them in the moment was a guy that the guy hired to pretend to be his friend.
Interesting.
And so it's Elliot Page in this and I think just the cameraman, and then major celebrity camera crew, mom, and this person who's coming out to his mom for the first time.
And
mom,
then the other guy.
Yeah. Mom gets up and leaves because she can't handle it. And the fucking Rent-A-Friend goes out there and talks to her about it and convinces her to come back in and accept the situation and
Incredible.
saves the moment. Unbelievable.
That's crazy. Well, that's a man who's doing his job well.
Well, critics say, get a job, the married father. So I guess he is married. Shoji's married and he has a kid. But I don't feel the need to answer to anyone. They're entitled to their opinions. By evening, Morimoto was on the move again, headed for drinks with a soft-spoken 44-year-old healthcare worker named Tamami. With a friend, you have to worry about whether they would like the bar or not, or whether they like what you have to say. But with Mr. Rental-san, he just straight up says yes or no. It's less drama than going out with a friend.
It's like hanging out with Ted.
Sparks scores of copycats, but he says he's just getting started. He resents inferences that this is anything like a real job. He says nothing's more fun than doing nothing.
Feels like my job sometimes.
I love this article because it is so beautifully human. This dude is just, I wasn't doing anything and I figured I'd go hang out with random strangers and make them feel good about themselves. And I'm like, that's beautiful.
It would feel great to just have somebody around. It's like having a dog that can understand you.
Mm-hmm. I guess, that's an interesting way to compare it. But yes, I would do that job. I'd go hang out with some people and just stand up for them as best I can.
If I was in Japan, I would trust them all. It'd be great.
Japan. Yeah, that's true. It would have to be out Japan.
Or Irvine. Japan or Irvine. Actually, fuck that. I don't want to be in Irvine.
You don't want to go to Irvine.
It's probably fucked up inside the houses.
Yeah. Well, good shit, everybody. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us in this little minisode. We are well on our way to Minisode 100. We are only a few to go. Only a few more there, and we'll be there. We will see you guys next week with a brand new minisode. Thank you guys so much, and see you next time. Bye.
Anyway, me and my wife were sitting outside indulging on our porch one night, enjoying ourselves. I needed to go to the bathroom, so I stepped back inside, and after a few moments, I hear my wife go, "Holy shit, get out here." So I quickly dash back outside, and she's looking up at the sky in awe. I look up too, and there's a perfect line of dozen lights traveling across the sky.